So you want to know how I got this sound? Well, let me make a cup of tea and I'll show you. Oh, the watermelon and sugar. So before we head into the amp section, there's a couple of changes I made in LPC first. So if we take a look at that first. There's not a huge amount of change, to be honest. I've changed the pickup to both, as you can see. And we are on pickup balance 20% and pick position number 1. That's the first change I made. The only other real change I made was to the mixer section, where I turned the pick noise up full. And I think I slightly raised the release. You can see it from the screen there anyway. One more change was in the key switches. I chose that B flat there and chose scrape. So that was to get that kind of, you know, that dig sound. In the output section, I have slightly turned down the low frequency slider. And for the velocity curve, this is personal preference. You can choose whatever you like to suit your playing style, but I've got it fairly flat from 0 right up to the top there. So that's about it for LPC. Well, let's head into the amp section now, because that's where all the magic happens. I've kind of scaled this down section by section. Initially, the sound is going to sound pretty bad until all the gain stages start to kick in and the compression, etc. But you'll see what happens. Now, bearing in mind, I'm coming from this purely as a plinky plonk guy who plays keys. I'm not a frinky frink guy that plays guitars and all that stuff. And my knowledge of such magical things is limited. So I'm a kind of turn a knob and see what happens kind of guy. And that's why I love this kind of stuff, because it's almost like an analog synth feel. It's like one knob per function. And to get this sound, I just spent, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights twiddling around. I'm no expert on guitar amplification or signal flows and all that kind of stuff. I just play around until I get a sound. If you're a little bit confused, signal flow is from top left to bottom right. So the first thing I did, like first input section, nothing on at all, no noise gate, compressor, nothing. The first thing I did in the amp stack was choose 12AT7, turned up the pre-gain and turned down the master gain to get a crunch. And you're not going to hear much here. If you can barely hear that, got the master volume down to like a third. And you can see the clean and drive and stuff. No bass boost, no presence, no reverb or anything like that. Okay, next part was a compressor. There you can see the settings. Ratio's whacked up full, so is the threshold. Attack's really small. A little bit of release and no knee. Just to give it a little bit of sustain. I know the volume's really low. You might want to try headphones with this so you can get a little bit better sound quality. If you're hearing this on a phone, you might not hear the guitar at all. And next was a graphic EQ. As you can see, I have rolled off a lot of the low end, scooped a little bit of mids out, and tamed the highs a little bit. Next comes a multiband compressor. There's a lot of compression in this, by the way. I did a tiny bit of research, and I mean like 5 minutes, about how roughly to get a sound. And he used a lot of compression straight into a mixing desk and then out to an amp, I think, with a Les Paul. That's as much as I could tell you. So noob much. I'm going to flick through the settings here. You can screen grab this if you like, but if you wait to the end of the video, you'll get a little surprise. Next thing I added was in the stereo section on the right, and we've got a reverb going on. Love this reverb, it's so flexible. Again, you can't hear much yet. I bet you're starting to wonder how is this going to happen. But it comes together, don't worry. Still very, very quiet, right? You can see the settings there. I'm not going to run through it one by one because I don't want to waste your time. And next is a duck delay. Very, very subtle. You probably might not even hear it much, but if you take it away, it does do something. Again, there's all the settings there. And I'm going to say again, if you wait to the end of the video, you'll get a little bit of surprise. And next is yet another multi-band compressor, but this time this is a stereo one. I'll flick through the bands quickly. With both these multi-band compressors, I just was playing around with the keys and altering this as I played, and was listening to how it changed the tone, and if it sounded right to me, that's where the setting stayed. So there's no technical expertise going on here, just purely my ear. And to follow the compressor, I chose a chorus. Now if you see, it's starting to get louder now. The weird thing about this chorus is I've got no delay, no depth, no frequency, and I've got the volume turned up. So you'd think you'd get no chorus. But it does something. I don't know what it does, but it sounds different, so I'm leaving it in. I'll play a little bit. You hear that? I don't know if there's technically a chorus sound going on there, but something's happening and I like it, so it's staying. I'm hosting this in Gig Performer, by the way, and I'm going to do another video all about Gig Performer and how I use it on stage. Check out Gig Performer on YouTube and stuff, it's fantastic. And so finally, I added a cabinet. I chose the Mesa Boogie style, whacked up the bass full, turned down the treble a little bit, and altered the final level to suit, and I got this. So yeah, that's how I made this tone up. Just playing around, no technical expertise whatsoever, and just playing around until I heard something that was kind of close. So if I can do it, you certainly can. I'm giving this away completely free. So if you're watching this on the MusicLab's channel, the zip file should be down below somewhere, and you can try this all out for yourself. It's completely free, no restrictions. And the amp settings will work with any of the Real Guitar series. It was based on the LPC, but I'm pretty sure if you have the Strat or the Real 8 or whatever, you can make it work. So yeah, have fun. As always, if you're looking for more MusicLab's content, check out the Jedi Master of Guitar Jeff, and also the smolderingly handsome John Rosenfeld. And until next time, I'm going to go and get some more tea. Catch you later.